Hey guys, PaulPer here, the snipe with the skills, and welcome to a Team Fortress 2 commentary video. Today it's just going to be a nice casual thing. This is TF2 gameplay I recorded a little while ago, but it's good. I'm just playing as a demo night, but we're going to be focusing on stuff while this is playing in the background so you have something to watch while you listen. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about hacking, cheating, exploiting, and truly winning. Now, I've been wanting to talk about this, like I already tried recording this once, but I had a bad gameplay footage to use, so that's why I haven't been able to post it yet. But finally I decided it's time to record it. So, there's a lot, like it's been a kind of a hot topic of conversation because of like all the people doing Atlantic Craft's Crazy Craft series and the whole thing about the chicken chest. And my reasoning behind the chicken chest is the way everyone in all their videos has been using it is, even me, I feel bad I was using it. It's not the right way to do it. I believe I have also figured out what it truly is meant for. The chicken chest, it allows anyone that opens up the chest, including you, to see the person that places it down's inventory. So my theory behind the true purpose of the chicken chest, which you could even check on the wiki, is that the chicken chest's main purpose is on a server where game rule keep inventory is set to false. And you're in the nether, and you just ran out of your final your fire resistance potion. You message one of your friends on the server, hey, could you hop by my house and brew up a quick fire resistance 8 potion for me? I just ran out. Or, if you know you're gonna die somewhere, you just message your friend, hey, can you hop in my base, open up the chicken chest, empty my inventory? I'm gonna die because I'm really far away from anything and it would take forever. I hope you guys know what I mean. Like, it's meant as a way to have others access your inventory without you having to drop the items. That's what I think it's for. And using it to duplicate items in your chest, the reason it only duplicates what can be stacked is probably because in the bugginess of the coding currently, the chicken chest, when you try moving something from your own inventory to the chicken chest or vice versa, if it's stackable, it'll allow up to a full stack to go across that barrier. That's why you can't duplicate non-stackable items, because they can't stack, so they won't transfer and stack and duplicate. Meanwhile though, in ore spawn there is an item called the duplicator tree, which when planted on a grass block, any 4 blocks surrounding it, once the tree grows 2 more duplicator tree wood blocks and 8 around the top piece and then the cap of the top apple tree leaves, it will start duplicating any of those blocks. Now this, compared to the chicken chest, is completely fine. You can also duplicate even like the modded crystal chest, and Beige Canadian actually tested this. If you put something in a crystal chest, when it's duplicated, it only duplicates the block itself. It does not duplicate anything inside of the chest. So, this though is perfectly fine in my opinion, because it's not an exploit. It was put in the game for a reason. The newest reason is you can, in the newer updates of ore spawn, not yet, I don't know if it's in Crazy Craft 2.0 yet, but in I want to say 1.8 ore spawn. I don't know if that's actually the number. I'm just thinking that because of Minecraft 1.8 probably. But you can take Mobzilla scales and make them into Mobzilla scale blocks, and then if you want to, you can put them around duplicator tree and build up your Mobzilla scale supply, so that way you have an unlimited supply of Mobzilla scale armor, which is a lot better than just using ultimate armor. You can also use it for spawn eggs if you want to create like a farm, or if you need to duplicate like a hard to find block. That's totally fine because it's in the game for a reason. It was programmed to do that, but only for block-based items. I mean, if there's a mod, I mean, even the Ender Pearl and Eye of Ender blocks, that's to help you out if you had trouble finding the proper. If you had trouble finding Enderman, just make one block, duplicate it, and there you go. That's okay though, compared to like a glitchy chicken chest. No offense to the mod makers, I actually really like that mod. Like the whole chicken ores and chicken bones and the chicken's lightning staff, but the chest has been a source of just because it's not fully fixed yet. But anyways, on to the next part of this conversation. I've finished up exploits. One more thing about exploits. A good example of a exploit from Team Fortress 2 is an early version of Manwork. Was it Manwork? Yeah, Manworks, where you're defending the quicklime cement place. The problem with it was one of the stairs, and the engineer, you could go up the stairs and the engineer could place a sentry up there and a dispenser, and the sentry busters couldn't get up there, and that was an exploit that wasn't accounted for yet, so people were taking advantage of it, and it did kind of take away from the challenge of man versus machine, so Valve made it so you can't build on the stairs. Alright, so now that we did that, let's go on to cheating. Now, a classic, I will admit, I have cheated in Pokemon Sapphire, and I have used the 999 stat in Sapphire and the Master Ball thing in Sapphire, but at what cost is the real question, and I'll tell you what the cost is. After a while of not playing the game, I plug in the game and tried doing something I hadn't done yet since I used the action replay, and it messed up the entire game. Like, the action replay does mess with the core, like, things were made for certain reasons. Like, the reason you only get one Master Ball, usually in a game, is because you need it for that one catch. Like, the one Pokemon that you must have, but you don't know if you can actually catch it or not. And nowadays with save and turning on and turning off the game, you don't really need more than one Master Ball. I mean, it's good for, like I think I've mentioned before, I'm not sure, like a shiny Electrode or a shiny Graveler, because they might know self-destruct. If you really want a shiny Electrode or Voltorb, you don't want them using self-destruct, because if they use self-destruct, they're gonna die or faint and you can't catch them, and you missed out on a really slim chance to get a shiny. And another good use of the Master Ball is, as always, the desired legendary for the region. Like if you think you have enough skill to capture Kyogre and Groudon, and then you just finished getting to the top of the Sky Pillar. I think it's Sky Pillar. I have not played the region in a while. And Rayquaza's up there just waiting for you. And you throw that, and your team's exhausted from all the Banets and Claydolls. And so you throw that Master Ball and you catch them, and you just, like, that one Master Ball, like, you worked hard on those, like, pitfall bike roads up that tower, and you earned getting up there to face Rayquaza. And if you don't have the right enough health, use that Master Ball. But here's the kicker. Later on, after you... Oh, I loved how I found that. Like, the spy thought, oh, I'm invisible. And I'm like, nope, kill. Anyways, back to the commentary. Now, here's something, though, that was the curveball for me, and I think a lot of other players that weren't aware of it. After you caught Rayquaza, you did a little bit... I, for one, did a little bit more exploration around Pacific. Yeah, the floating town. And I was really curious why the rapids to the west of it were so intricate and zigzaggy. And then I saw something. There was a spot you could dive. And another thing is, while we're on this whole topic, if you're stuck on something and you really want to get past it and you're okay with like losing a little bit of like the shock and awe of, oh my gosh, that's what it was, you can always use the a walkthrough, which is perfectly fine. It's kind of a double-edged sword. You lose the mystery of what's there because you might read something you didn't want to read, but they do help. So like all I did was I honestly didn't use it, but then when Emerald came out, I forgot the route, so I ended up using it for that. But I wasn't aware of. I already was shocked by what was beyond there, and this was before I knew this one creature, these 3 Pokemon existed in the game. So you do you figure out that waterfall, the rapids route, and then when you get to it, you dive, and you find out you need a Relicanth and a Wailord. And the only way you can know that is by seeing on the walls, there's Braille. For some reason, when I was looking into it, it was Australian Braille, but I'm not sure. But it was Braille, so a little bit more research, a little bit of like translation later. This was when I was a lot younger too, and I was just like, what is this? What mysterious language? And I was like, oh, it's Braille. So I looked into it, I translated it, and it said like, oh, you have Wailord and Relicanth. And one of them at the front of your party and the other one in the back, and it unlocked something. It didn't tell you what, it just said that you could hear, like somewhere far away, a place being unlocked. And then you started exploring the region, unaware, like for me at least, unaware of what was around me, what was waiting for me. I thought I had to beat the game, but I hadn't. And then you found out 3 more legendaries, 2 of which resistant to false swipe. And I'm talking about the Regice, Registeel, and Regirock. And oh, that was like, after using up the Master Ball on Rayquaza, the Regi, I'll call it the Regi campaign for now, was so much fun. A little bit frustrating, but it felt so good because by the end of it, I had all three of them in Ultra Balls, not in Master Balls, because this was before I even bought an Action Replay, and I managed to catch all 3 of them with my famous, notorious false swipe Thunder Wave combo. But it took so long because they have such a low catch rate, and truly it felt like winning. Now, getting close to the end of the footage for the commentary, so I mean that whole story kind of covers truly winning. But I have one more thing I mentioned at the beginning I wanted to talk about, which was hackers. No one likes a hacker. Whether it's the notorious flyers on Bacon Brawl, or if it's the aimbots, or the speed boosted heavies with insta-kill bullets in TF2. They're just trying to get a kick out of you. It's the whole theory, don't feed the trolls, and they're just trying to troll to get you mad, and they're happy when you're mad, and you just keep a calm face and push through. You might actually beat them and turn the tables on them and win. This actually happened to me on Bacon Brawl, the minigame where you play as either a sheep, a baby pig, or a regular pig. And I was a regular pig, and the other person was a baby pig, and it was a hacker. And a bunch of friends were there, and everyone else was already gone, like got defeated, and it was just me and the other guy. And he was like just jumping up in the air extremely high. His hitbox was really hard to hit. And my friends in Skype were like, oh, Paul, just give up. It's a hacker. Just let him win. I was like, no, I'm not letting this guy win. And about 5 more minutes passed because Bacon Brawl doesn't have a timer, and the entire, like, it was just me and the other guy. Like, everyone else left the minigame party group thing, but they were still in the Skype call. Like, Paul, are you really gonna try and take down a hacker? And I was like, yes. And come to find out, enough determination, I beat the hacker. I managed to trick him, I managed to knock him. I just had to figure out his jump pattern, because people have different gameplay patterns, and if you can learn them, you can have an advantage over like regulars you play against. So I figured out from all this like the guy's jumping pattern, and I managed to get him. So I hit him with the regular pig's like charge thing as he was falling down, so he couldn't do his high jump again with the hack, and it like bounced him into one of the mini pits of lava, and I won. And it felt so good to beat the hacker and just win and defeat him. And yeah, it's better to win fair and square than it is to hack or exploit or cheat, because if you win with the help of something illegitimate, you kind of feel afterwards like, I wonder how it would have handled it if I just went in there on my own. Like, sometimes you question yourself, like, maybe it wasn't that bad. I mean, maybe I could have handled it. And if it's an end game thing and you can't go back, you have to play the entire game again in order to even get there, which means you may never have the motivation to do that. So yeah, that's kind of it for today's conversation. I'm just gonna keep chatting till the gameplay is finished. We're almost pretty sure we're about to capture the point. This actually was a while ago. And yeah, part of me doing these commentaries, I was wondering if you guys would be interested in a challenge I have for you. Down below in the comment section, be sure to like just throw out how you feel about this kind of stuff. Like, do you agree the chicken chest is being misused in these servers and series for the wrong purpose of duplicating? And do you think, like, just like at least reply to at least 2 other people, maybe just like, oh, like if someone says something you agree with, like, yeah, agree with them, and like keep the conversation going. And I believe at this point, yeah, we all rushed the point and we capped. So guys, with the round ending, I'm gonna end this commentary. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and like I said, comment down below and create a conversation with a bunch of you guys. I'll join in too if you guys start one up. And as always, my name is PaulPer TF2, Snipe with Skills, and I will see you later, my fellow Mercs. Bye!